I bought this main lug panel to be my sub panel here in the building. So let's get it opened up here and see what it looks like. Okay, so pretty good there. It's got a slide open there. So I'll be mounting it on this side here, and the box lid is going to be set in from the 2x4 if I install it straight to this wall. So first thing I'm going to have to do is cut a piece of 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch OSB to put onto the wall here so it brings it out. I've placed a piece of 1/2 inch OSB and this 3/4 inch plywood, and I think that's going to pull the box out far enough out from the wall here. So I'm going to want to cut this panel here, right there. I've got the first piece of spacer there, and now I'm going to get the second piece set down right here. Get that attached. That should do it quite nicely. Now, let's see what the box is going to look like up here. Okay, very nice. All right, now that the support is up here, I'm going to put the box where I want it and then use a pencil to mark out the places that'll be holding it up here. That way I can put some screws there, and that should allow the box to stay up here nicely. See how we did. Very nice. I'm going to cinch these down a little bit here, not too much. Okay, that should keep it on nicely. Because this is a sub panel, I need to attach a grounding bar to the side over here. So I'm just going to be doing that with these screws. Now that the sub panel is installed, I'm going to be using a drill with a 3/4 inch bit to drill holes through the 2x4s to get the wire pulled through to the receptacles and the lights. Let's talk about the placement of the receptacles and lights in the building. I'm going to run a single receptacle down here for a project that you'll find out about later. I'd like to put 5 on each receptacles on each side. So on this wall, and then spin around over here and have 5 on this wall. Now I have the 2 extra receptacles, so there's 12 in total. I want to put one in this corner back here for the computer, and like I said, there'll be one over here. That'll make up the 12. Now for lighting, I'm going to need to come from the box, go up above the door here, and over to a light switch here, and then that will go up to the ceiling. And then I also need to take a light over here, and I'm going to probably put a switch right over there so that when you walk in the door you can turn on this side of lights as well. And then I think the single receptacle over here for the computer will be run off of the same as the lights. So I may have to come there first and then bring the hot back over to the switch for the remaining lights. All that being said, I'm going to come down from the box a little bit and hit the center of the 2x4 and just put my hole through here. Once I get to the point where I can see my bit on the other side, I'm going to swap around so that I prevent any blowout from occurring. I'm going to be using these blue boxes to house all of my light switches and receptacles, and they're pretty simple to install. You just stick a couple of drywall screws onto the side over here and it goes onto a 2x4. So Let's get these installed real quick before I finish doing the rest of the drilling. Like I was saying, I want a box to be down here. So I'm just going to come in the corner and get this installed here. So these boxes are definitely easy to install. I'm going to want a light switch box over here. So get that installed. I'm measuring out 4 feet from the floor so that I have consistency in each of my outlets here. So that's where the bottom of the box is going to go. So I can line this up here. The bottom will be right there. I believe I have all the holes drilled for the wire to go through. So now it's time to run the wire. I've got 2 different types of wire here. This is 14-2. It's a smaller wire. I'm going to be running the lights and also going over to my computer spot. And then this is 12-2, and that will be going to all of the receptacles. Let's start off with this little box down here. So I'm just going to come up this hole and then out this one over here. I'm going to bring up enough wire that it goes to the top of the box up here. That way I know I have plenty to go wherever I need to inside that box. And then, when I say box, I mean panel up here. And then down here, I need to have enough wire that I can come out of the box approximately 6 inches down here to give myself plenty of room to work with. I have this bag of staples that go around the wire to keep it in place. So I'll be using that along the wood to keep the wire from just being loose in here. The back side of the box here has got a little tab that I'm just gonna snap loose in here. Okay, and now I can take one of these wood staples and get this attached here so it's not gonna be coming loose. Feed the box. Got about 6 inches coming out, just what we want. And then I'm just going to take this wood staple and get this attached here. Oh my. Now I'm ready to pull the wire to the outlets on the other side of the house. And to do that, I'm going to start here at this location. I'm going to run this through all of these holes and then make this corner here. Every time you have a corner, it definitely slows things down, but I think we'll manage. I'm going to be feeding this up and around the door, and so I've got my hole drilled up top right here through this support board. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a slow go towards the end of the run when the wire starts getting really tight. To save a whole lot of drilling time, I decided to go all the way up to the top here and over and then down to meet up with these boxes, because if I decided to drill through, you know, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 I'd have to go through. So definitely saving a lot of drill time by going across the top up there. I have the wire run to all the boxes, and I have our white 14-2 run up to the front of the building here, where I have 3 boxes. Now there is a reason for that. Let me show you here. This is going to be a junction box where the main power from the sub panel comes in, and then we're going to have 3 sets of wire come out of this box. One is going to go to the inside lights here. One is going to go to an outside light. And a third is going to go up and around for my computer spot. So this is going to serve as a place for those wires to break off of this main one here. So first I'm going to get the light switch for the inside lights wired up. And this is just going to go in one side and out the other, making sure I have sufficient extra there. Okay, looks good, looks good. I'm just going to cut that. Okay. And then next, I'm going to go from the same box once again here. Come up. And come over to this box, which I have to break out a tab. Out of that one into this one, and that'll be a switch for outside lights. And now lastly, I need to pull the wire from this last tab over here. And that's going to go up and over the door to the computer spot. So, start getting that wired up here. Now the reason I'm putting the computer on the light switch side of wire is because I don't want one of my tools to kick on and cause an issue there. So I'm just running this up separate, so it's its own circuit. I managed to get the wire up over the door here and to the first box. So now I'm going to take the wire and go back through this box and start feeding it to the next box in line. And this has to be done 4 times here, but luckily it's really short runs after it's made it to this first box here. So just come through that, break out another one of these tabs in here. Actually I need to break off 2 of them because the wire will be coming out of this box and going to the next one here. Okay, so keep pulling this out. It's amazing what just a couple of degrees will do to the wire here. Makes it a bit more difficult to work with. I was doing this yesterday and it was about 55 out, now it's about 35. And it definitely slows stuff down a bit. Okay, and like every other box, just making sure there's roughly 6 inches hanging out before I do a cut here. To wire the lights on this side of the building, I'm going to go from the sub panel over, up, over, down to the switch, and then back up and stop here for now for the lights. All right, I'm going to start here at the sub panel. I had accidentally drilled an extra hole here, but that actually works out because there's a lot of wires going down that bottom one down there. And then I'm just going to start feeding this through, and it definitely starts getting a bit cramped when pulling 2 wires through a single hole. But luckily that's all we've got to pull through. Definitely a good idea to wear safety goggles while doing this, because those wires can pop loose and go flying about. My brother-in-law and I got in the workshop this week and worked hard to get the inside electrical stuff done. So let me take a step back and show you what we have accomplished. The sub panel has been installed and all of the holes have been drilled through the studs and the wires have been pulled. Now I've got the yellow for all of the receptacles and white goes to lights. So like I was saying, I've got one that goes down here to this box, and you'll learn more about why that's down there. And then we've got a yellow that goes around here, up, over, and then down. And you'll see I've got a panel started here with insulation just for a test run. And then it's going to feed all of these receptacles. Now the air conditioner will be on this side, so I'll have to be cautious to turn that off whenever I'm using the big stuff. So it goes to this one, and that's the end of the run there. And now we have another yellow 12-2 that feeds these boxes on this side. Oh, and you'll notice that I accidentally turned this receptacle this direction while the rest have the grounding pin up top. Now the reason they do that is because if you were to drop a tool in there, it could connect to both of those at the same time if you didn't have this on top. So it'd be like hitting both of those and causing a short. So that's why they do that. Now on this last receptacle over here, the yellow wire comes out, comes around, and then stops down here. I'm going to be putting an outside box here, so I'm going to be buying that today. Now for the lights. This side comes down here, goes up, goes over, comes down to this light switch in here, goes back up, and right now it's just laying here, but that's going to be for the can lights that are up top here. And for the last set of lights, comes in here and runs along all the way over here to the front door, and it goes to this junction box. Now inside of this box you'll see the one wire goes in and 3 wires come out. We've tied those together so that I can have a light switch here for the outside light that will be, the outside light will be here above the front door. This wire comes out, goes to this switch, which will be up here, and then we'll go to the can lights on this side of the building. And then lastly, there is a third wire that comes out of here, goes up, goes over, and comes down to this lonely receptacle over here. The purpose for this one is to separate it from these over here. That way I can set up my computer desk back here and have that isolated. So if a power tool kicks on, it shouldn't be affecting that. I believe I'm going to stop here for this video, and in the next video we'll be moving to the sub panel wiring, can lights, and also running the power from the main box in the house to the sub panel here in the workshop. Should also be getting the exterior receptacle and the light above the door. So lots planned. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. If you are, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps the viewing and the ranking in YouTube. So thanks for watching. I'm Seth Johnson with Land House. I will see you in the next video. Bye.